This video is about the importance of building systems within your business. And that is so that eventually the business can work for you. And you could take it from me, I have built and sold multiple 6- and 7-figure home service businesses, and I've helped over 50 people around the United States and Canada go from brand creation to 6- and 7 figures as well. And my goal now is to help a bunch of people at scale through these YouTube videos. And so the purpose of this video is to show you the importance of systems and explain why we want to develop systems, and then talk about some of the systems we want to develop within the business so that you can continue to grow the business and not have to do everything yourself. So let's dive right into it and talk about what are systems. Systems simply are a predetermined way of doing things. It's breaking things down into steps of 1, 2, 3, so forth, so that when you're training people, they have an actual specific protocol and process to follow. And by building a predetermined way of doing everything in your business, you're going to allow the business to scale. It'll allow the business to become more profitable. Forgive my handwriting. And it'll allow the business to become more valuable, which is very important, we'll get to in a minute. And the systems we want to build in order to scale, that means simply to grow the business. You have to be able to handle more business. And how do you do that? Well, that means relying less on your memory, less on writing things down on paper, and more on technology. I know this can be intimidating for some people because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what tools are out there, and that's what I'm here for, is to help you do. And I'm a big fan of keeping things simple. And so some of the first systems, or predetermined way to do things, some of the first systems you want to develop in your business is scheduling. So you don't have to remember everything in your head, just use a calendar. Google Calendar is by far the easiest to use, and you'll be able to actually grow the business. I was able to do multiple 7 figures in my business still using Google Calendar, and you will be able to as well. And even if you don't have a team yet, getting in the habit of scheduling out things within your day and certainly within your month, so you don't have to look for the piece of paper you wrote it down on, or certainly not have to remember it. And so you want to be able to grow your business with things like a calendar, or things like a customer management system, so you know what customers you need to follow up with. You know which customers or potential customers you gave a quote to. And you can plug different people like a salesperson eventually into that system. Another good system to have, accounting. Saving your receipts or doing actual budgeting, determining how much of each job is profit. These things are going to be huge when it comes to growing the business, because you need to know how much money you can plan to invest or have on hand in order to invest. And so to be able to grow the business and breaking the business down into different parts, and then being able to add systems to plug your team members into, that's how you're going to be able to scale the business. And so we also want to get into the importance around systems, because it's going to make your business more profitable. Simply put, if you're able to have a system where you can follow up with customers automatically, you can actually create customers without having to do any more work. You can have automated email systems. You can have automated texting systems. You can have reminder texts that go out automatically. Things like a sales system alone can make your business a lot more profitable. And as we talked about, also budgeting and invoicing and things like that, so you can collect payments faster and you can have more cash coming in every month, and you're not having to build a long list of accounts receivable. Those are ways to make your business more profitable. And also having a system for how to fulfill every job, regardless whether you're a flooring company, a fencing company, an AC company. You should have predefined ways to fulfill your service and to document those ways so that you could potentially get the job done sooner. And that means you're paying less in payroll, or you're using less materials, and that's going to decrease your expenses, which increases your profitability. And that's what we want. Another thing we talked about is making your business more valuable by using systems. And this is hugely important, because now more than ever, investors are paying attention to home service businesses, because in a lot of ways they can be recession proof, and they are built off of a need. People are always going to have houses, they're always going to have kitchens, they're always going to have need for repairs and maintenance. And so to have a business that is systemized is going to be a valuable asset to have as an investor. And you as a business owner, the more you can grow the business in a profitable way, the more valuable that business will become, and you can eventually sell it. And the thing with businesses, they can sell for 3 to 6 times the profit. And so that means you can sell that business for even more money. And so as I've taught people to do, making $1 million a year in profit, you could sell that business for $3, $5, $6 million, and then take that money and put it in rental properties and hire a property management company. And now you're making that mailbox money. And you don't have to worry about managing people or anything anymore. And so making the business more profitable and therefore more valuable by putting in systems is how you want to approach the business from the very beginning. I understand when the business is new and you can do everything, you do things in a way that isn't necessarily as organized or isn't scalable. And so I want to encourage you guys to focus on systems now so you can hire people quickly, you can improve the process that you have within your business, you can make it more profitable and make more money. And if you want help doing this, I would love to help you. Click the link in the description and we'll have a call and talk about ways we can systemize your business. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.